Hey there, Browns fans. You got to 300 subs on our new Cleveland Browns only channel. So as promised, a rumors mailbag coming at you. However, there is some news that came across today around Myles Garrett. So we're going to kick things off with that. Now, if you want more Browns videos going forward, you guys have to subscribe. chatsports.com/BrownsTV takes you right there. The full link will also be in the comments and in the description. And another reason to watch on that channel, by the way, there are no YouTube ads. We begin with some major NFL and Browns news. Myles Garrett is getting the bag from the Cleveland Browns. The deal is not quite yet official, but it's pretty much a done deal. It is going to be a 5-year, $125 million extension. And yes, that will make Myles Garrett the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. Borderline quarterback money for Garrett and for the Browns. So the details, what we know so far, the exact structure not yet known. That'll take a little bit longer to figure out. But it's a 5-year, $125 million deal. That's the new money, the extension only. I'll break down the difference here in a little bit. That's $25 million per year. There's $100 million guaranteed, and that makes Garrett the most expensive defensive player in the NFL. He surpasses the likes of Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald and DeForest Buckner, DeMarcus Lawrence, and everybody else. Many of those deals signed a couple years ago. Myles Garrett now becomes the highest paid defensive player in all of the NFL. A massive deal. However, it's not really going to be $25 million per year. Allow me to explain. There were 2 years left on Myles Garrett's deal. So when you factor in the years that he had left, a little under $20 million, it actually looks a little bit more like this. A 7-year contract at $144.8 million, $20.7 per year. And we don't know the official structure. I can pretty much guarantee you, though, it's going to be backloaded. It's not like he's suddenly going to be getting that 25 or even the $20 million per year. It's going to be less than that. This is the benefit of doing deals early. It allows you to structure the deal creatively. And although, yes, Garrett gets $25 million per year on his new extension, and future players are now going to try and beat him, that's not how it's going to be impacted on the Browns' salary cap. They're going to be just fine there. So grade this deal that very much kind of came out of nowhere for the Browns and for Garrett. A, B, C, D, or F. Cast your votes for me in the comments section. Now, if you're fired up about the Myles Garrett deal, now's probably a good time to go get yourself a Myles Garrett jersey. A whole bunch of available options are there at chatsports.com/Myles Garrett. We'll put the link in the comments and the description. All you got to do is click and shop. Those jerseys are under, or at least some of them are under $80 right now. So go check out what they have at chatsports.com/Myles Garrett. All right, now to our previously planned rumors mailbag for the Cleveland Browns. First up from Justin Denman. Do you think Clowney has a chance to get signed by the Browns? Never say never, but also no. The Browns' decision to restructure Olivier Vernon's contract pretty much ended the hopes of the Browns landing Clowney. They made a good offer, I'd say a fair offer to him, but Clowney didn't want to go play for the Browns. So then they restructured Vernon's contract, saved some money. They could have cut Vernon and signed Clowney, if Clowney wanted to come to Cleveland. So I love the idea. I'm glad the Browns tried to make this work, but I don't think that that's really going to end up happening at all for Cleveland. I think that's pretty much dead. Over to Seth Francois. #Browns. Look at you, Seth, being smart. If Odell gets comfortable with the new system in Cleveland, do you think he will re-sign in a couple of years? So there were a lot of trade questions around Odell Beckham. I don't think that happened. So let's focus on the long term then, right? Look, OBJ wasn't as good as hoped in year one, although who in Cleveland was as good as hoped in this past year, 2019? He's under contract through the 2023 season. So re-signing Odell Beckham, not really a concern for Cleveland. He's going to be in his 30s by that point. I think he's going to fare better this year. We've seen Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs have success in this style of offense. I think he'll be more comfortable. I think he'll be healthy. I think he'll have a good year. And hopefully that will reduce some of the trade buzz or trade ideas and rumors around Odell Beckham, which we also have on today's mailbag for you guys. Lawrence Brown throws out this trade idea. Browns get Jamal Adams. The Jets get OBJ and a 2021 first. Now, we'll let you guys vote as to who says no. C for the Cleveland Browns and for the New York Jets. Have the Browns say no. You're giving up basically 2 first-round picks for Jamal Adams. I love Jamal Adams. I'm all aboard the idea, as several of you asked about adding Adams. But I'm not trading a first and Odell Beckham away. My offense still needs weapons. And you gave up a lot for Odell Beckham. And not to fall into the sunken cost fallacy, but I still have high hopes for OBJ and high expectations for Odell Beckham. So I'm not really all that interested in going out and giving up OBJ and a first-round pick. I don't think that's a good idea for the Cleveland Browns. Jets would be all over it, I'll tell you that. But if I'm Cleveland, I'm not giving that up whatsoever. Now, I do like the idea of adding Jamal Adams. I think that makes some sense and could pay off in a big way for the Cleveland Browns. So what I want you guys to do for me in the comment section is put your Jamal Adams trade ideas for the Cleveland Browns down there in the comment section. Let's put together your best ones and see what you guys can come up with. Mr. Oof wants to know in general if the Browns should make an attempt to get Jamal Adams. I would explore that idea. I would explore that offer. I would go try to get Jamal Adams. I also know, however, that Adams didn't put the Cleveland Browns on his list. So maybe it's not the most likely outcome in the end, but there's nothing wrong with trying, right? And pairing Adams and Grant Delpit, that could work out really, really well in the long term. Steel Rain 2740, dangerously close to Steelers, by the way, has a different idea at safety, though. He says, I try and sign Eric Berry for a training camp tryout. First off, literally nothing wrong with that. It's not going to come back to bite you. It's a camp tryout or even just a 1-year, no guarantee deal. The problem for Eric Berry and for any NFL team, Browns included, is we haven't seen him play very much. He's played 3 games since 2017. So when John Dorsey was there, I thought for sure they were going to add him. Of course, that's no longer the case. But if I'm the Browns, sure. There's no downside to just a camp tryout or a 1-year deal with no guaranteed money. Worst case, he's clearly not healthy, and you cut him for no dead money. That's the definition of a worthwhile gamble for any NFL team. And maybe he usurps Carl Joseph, or maybe he holds off Grant Delpit for parts of the season at least. Will give you great depth. So signing Eric Berry? Sure. Why not? Even if you type in yes, though, that's Y for yes in the comment section, remember, you're not going to get prime Eric Berry. At this point in his career, it's just simply not going to happen. But cast your votes. If you want the Browns to sign Eric Berry, Y for yes or N for no. Let's go to David King with a lot of ellipses in here. Not sure why. But is Baker Mayfield going over 61% completion percentage? I don't know why I put percentage in there twice. Or is Chubb going to rush for 1,000 yards or more? And which is the more determining factor as far as making the playoffs, and will they do either? I do think there's a good chance that both of those things happen, and the Browns kind of need it to. But as for which one is the more determining factor, look, it's always the quarterback. The quarterback is the most important player on the team. In almost all cases, there are some times where if the quarterback is just god-awful, you want to win in spite of him. But that's not the case for the Cleveland Browns. So the Browns, someone asked a different question that we didn't bring up on the show. You know, what's the weakness on the offense? Well, the biggest concern is that Baker doesn't improve. I expect Chubb to have a massive year. I think he's going to run for well over 1,000 yards. He's going to thrive in the Kevin Stefanski offense. But Baker Mayfield has to be better than what he was last year. Otherwise, the Browns are going to be stuck right back where they were last season. From Stomping Peak, fun username. Will the Browns be able to pull it together? Their roster stacked, very comparable to the division. Look at last year when they played the Steelers and Ravens. They just need someone to pull it all together. Now, I think many Browns fans are in the exact same spot I am right now. I was super high on Cleveland last year. I'll tell you what, folks, I am ready to get hurt again. I think this Browns team can make the playoffs. If Big Ben's healthy, that makes things more complicated for the AFC North. But I firmly believe the Browns have what it takes. Maybe not to win a very, I think, difficult AFC North, but they can win 9 or 10 games and make the wild card. I think that is very much within the range of outcomes for this Browns team. So I want you guys to predict this for me in the comments section. What do you believe the Browns record will be? I'll put the over-under, because I know we got a lot of Browns fans watching, obviously. I'll put the over-under at 9.5 5 wins. Let me know what you guys think. The common thread from these last couple questions, it's the quarterback play, right? From Jackson Avery Marshall, will Baker be a top 10 quarterback? Baker was my number 1 QB when he came out of the NFL draft, and I claimed victory after his first season, 2018. Awesome year, nearly 64% completion percentage, almost 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. The quarterback rating was pretty good. And then 2019 hit, and Baker was just not anywhere near as good. Way more turnovers, created pressure, never trusted his offensive line. Basically, Baker got rattled last year and never really recovered, was never really comfortable. So I have high expectations for Baker again, but they're more along the lines of him taking a step forward, having a better breakout year, the year we thought he was going to have last season. I don't know if he's going to be a true top 10 quarterback in year 3, but he also doesn't maybe have to be. If he can show growth and just be better, be like maybe top 15, I think once again you're going to have the Browns back in that playoff discussion. All right, Browns fans, as a reminder, if you want more videos, you guys got to subscribe. Other channels, like our Dolphins channel, our new Seahawks channel, they're beating you right now. That's why we haven't done that many. So go subscribe, chatsports.com/BrownsTV. The link is the pinned comment as well. Go subscribe, tell a friend. The more subs we get on that channel, the more videos we can do for you guys.